Hello, my name is Sue. I've got extremely bad teeth. This started from approximately 9, where I was tripped up in a school playground. From the age of 16, had a major operation under general anaesthetic to have infection taken out of my around my nose area, which left me with a dent. And then I am now 48, and I have had 32 years of sheer problems. One tooth after another, I've lost through abscesses. I haven't had a year when I haven't had some dental work done, and that's whether it be filling, tooth out, losing teeth, teeth crumbling, teeth chattering while I'm eating, and they're in a state. I've got a dental plate in, and it feels like having a brick in my mouth, and I'm going to actually need to have more work done. So to be honest, I think I'm going to be looking at a total upper jaw dental plate. The thought of it is absolutely, I can't go there. I can't think about it. It would affect me, my life, and the way I work, the job I do, and I might as well fall off a cliff, to be honest, because the thought of it is horrendous. I can't go there. I've always had trouble eating. I have to be careful with what I can choose to eat. I love steak. Couldn't be a vegetarian if I tried. But unfortunately, I can't eat it because it literally is, I can feel my teeth sort of cracking while I'm eating. I've never eaten an apple properly, actually biting into an apple. I always have to cut it up first. I cut it into wedges. There's things that I want to try. I love cashew nuts, but I can't eat them. The new nuts, and I see my friends sort of like snacking on nuts and just generally eating whatever they can, and I literally have got to think about everything that I put into my mouth. The most embarrassing things about my dental situation are, well, too numerous. From eating a sandwich with my front tooth just snapping off and having to go out that evening with all my friends with a dirty great big gap in the front of my mouth. From using super glue to glue crowns back on that weren't fitted properly, to not being able to chew properly because crowns that I have got are flat because there's no bite in there. Having to have my natural teeth, what I've got left of them, filed down by dentists to make the unnatural teeth fit. And it's just been one thing after another, literally. Career in the Royal Air Force was, I had all my wisdom teeth taken out by a very incompetent dentist, and it's just been one thing after another. So to be honest, my whole life has been an embarrassment with dental, and especially doing the job that I do now. I'm forward facing, I sell, I'm an employment broker, I look for jobs for people to apply for, so I'm making contact with managing directors, company directors, and just general people, and I'm always continually thinking, what do they think about me with gaps in my teeth? And it's absolutely horrendous. It's a horrendous situation, and it is getting to the point now where I've got to find a solution to it.
I'd just like to speak to you a little bit about my daughter that's had so many problems with her teeth. It's been agony as a mother watching her suffer with all the abscesses she's had, all the problems. Trying to find a dentist that will actually solve it for her has been absolute agony. Every time she comes to me, I know what she's going to say. Mum, I've got another abscess. And that's time and time again, unknown times. So I'm really relieved and hopeful that perhaps this time her whole dental treatment will really be solving all the problems that she's had over the years.
I am now at a point where I'm looking for a solution to my dental problems. I've been on the internet. I've considered going to Poland. After looking at sort of like the costs involved with not just the flights, but actually dental work. My money I've got sitting in the bank. I wanted to go travelling, but there's not much point to me going around the world if I can't come home with having no teeth. So this is an investment in me, and after searching other opportunities, or rather other people, phoning around most dental practices within a sort of like 20-mile radius of where I live, I found Evodental on the internet, read all the testimonies, looked into it, thought this may be my one and only solution. So I've called them up, and literally I've got a consultation tomorrow where I'm going to find out if it can be my solution to a new life with new teeth.
We totally understand the fact that for any patient thinking about some kind of dental implant therapy, it can be a very daunting thought. The thought of surgery, the thought of complications, the thought of expense. We get it. We deal with implant patients every single day. That is the core of our business. We don't do anything other than implant-related therapies here. So we really get to understand what the patient's psyche is at the time that they're searching out dental implant solutions.
Arrived first thing in the morning about 8:30. Was greeted by Kaylee. She's a lovely young lady. She went through the forms that I had to do and what was going to happen, and she went into detail about the journey that I was going to be taking that day. A few of the guys who were sort of like going to be assisting with the operation popped in to say hello so I can put a face to the name, and they were very, very professional.
Evodental is about teamwork. We're very lucky here because we have excellent teams that cooperate with each other. Highly skilled individuals who really, really know their sector and cooperate very well with others to produce fantastic end results for patients.
There are technicians involved in creating the superstructure, the bridge, the crown, the teeth that you see. The implant side of things is literally the foundations. You know, you can't build a mansion on a marsh. The team involved, everybody from the backroom staff to the people who bring the clients along are all hugely part of that. And if you know where that journey is going, and you have faith in the people around you are on your side, you're there trying to provide the solution that you're looking for.
This is what's important. Because Evodental runs all-in-one centres where laboratories and clinical spaces are interconnected, the communication between the various teams, be it the surgical team, the nursing team, the prosthetic team, the technical team, all happens within a matter of seconds and minutes, which is only good for patient outcome. And I'm very lucky because I get to work with this team every single day. The team in itself, because they're all very qualified in their own right, get on very well together, manage to treatment plan a patient with all the relevant teams together in one place in front of the patient, so the plan is as coherent as possible to give us the best possible chance of an excellent outcome.
One of the things that I noted on the website was the fact there was a free consultation. I'd done some phoning around to local dentists and local people who did sort of like the dental implants, and I was blown away by the difference in price. So I came here on one day. I think I phoned up and I had a consultation literally 2 days later. Came in, met VJ, and he was my dentist. He's been my dentist all the way through. Well, he's not a dentist. He's re-engineered my life and my face. He has been fantastic, but when I met him, it was just the fact that he was so, I don't know, professional. No, it wasn't even more than that. I instantly trusted him.
We've always had a free consultation service. The free consultation service isn't a gimmick. It's actually the only way to truly assess a definitive optimal treatment plan for the patient seeking help. A lot of patients don't understand that dental implants aren't necessarily the answer for them. So when we get to evaluate them, we can show them that even though they might think that dental implant therapy is the answer for them, it probably isn't. There are other patients who realize that they needed far more than they thought they needed, and we can present all of this to them by taking our 3D scans.
I was taken into sort of like the procedure room where I met VJ, and like I said, what a fantastic person. His confidence and everything was just overwhelming. Sat me down in the room, took a few photos of the state of my teeth, taught me through what the problems were and how it needed to be addressed. After that, he did a bit of pointing around, and we went into the X-ray room. I had a full 3D scan, and that was set ready in seconds. So I went back into the consultation room, sat there and saw the actually inside of my mouth and what was going on.
Our 3D scans allow us to evaluate a patient in real time in 3D, which presents the anatomic reality of that patient at that time, so they can understand the scope and scale of their problems, and they can also understand how we want to plan their correction for optimal long-term performance. Because treatments like implant therapy are not meant for a year, 2 years, 5 years. As far as we're concerned, we are aiming for the patient to have a lifetime's worth of service out of having implant therapy. That is when it is actually worth the investment to perform implant therapy.
The production of new teeth that are as good a replacement, if not a better replacement, for failing teeth is something that's always been what the profession's been looking for. We've spent, decades repairing problems, doing the best with what Mother Nature had left us with and what had happened within the sort of confines of the mouth. But now with bioengineering and these new products, we're getting closer and closer to being able to put back what had been damaged in the past.
After about 15 minutes, after consultation with VJ, he'd come up with a treatment plan of what he recommended was the best way to go with myself. As it happened, because of the state of my teeth, we elected for the 1-day smile. So I was taken downstairs once I had the treatment plan given to me. Then Steve, again, went through everything, noted that if I had any issues, if there was any problems. So he was very, very professional and allowed me to make my own decision. At no point was there a hard sell or, you really want to do this. It was for me, by me, and it was decided by me. After I decided with the treatment plan and everything and the scan, and VJ had shown me or told me what was going to happen, I made an appointment.
My daughter's been such a very good people's person, and of course having these problems with her teeth has dented her personality and her confidence, in so much that when photographs have been taken, she wouldn't smile. She wouldn't show any part of her teeth at all, and that really spoiled any photographs that we've had taken as a family. So I'm just hoping now that the treatment will give her that confidence, and because of her work now, she's dealing with many important people. She really feels very aware that her teeth are not doing what they should do.
Walked in, came in, 8:30, bright and breezy in the morning. Slight apprehension, but made to feel very, very welcome. Had some pre-meds in. I had a suite of my own. So sat there watching a bit of daytime TV. The lady came in, I had my pre-meds, blood pressure checked, and everything was just put myself at ease. It was very comfortable, it was very laid back. There was no pressure or anything, and it was a pleasant experience. Just sat, relaxed, chilled out for a bit, and then of course one of the ladies came down, or Kaylee came down and said, right, it's time to go for my procedure.
The team that we have assembled here, I like to think, is a world-class team. The one thing that they all have in common, all of them, is they're passionate about what they do. That ultimately helps me deliver top quality care to the patients that come to us. I like to think that we contribute in some way, shape or form to their long-term well-being by literally putting a smile back on their face, using some very high-end technology, but also by working with some very, very passionate people.
After the pre-meds and everything, and a nice morning, taking it chillaxing, went up into the actually operating theatre. Sat down, and then that was when the fun started. I've always had a hatred of needles, and for me, that was the worst bit. Once that was over, it was very, very relaxing. Sounds a bit odd, but VJ made me feel very comfortable. Told me all along what was going through, was sort of talking to Isabella, the nursing assistant, as to what he wanted her to do. And again, it was just a very relaxing procedure. It was about 2.5 hours in total. Got a little bit panicky at one point, but to be honest, again, they let me have a few minutes just to calm down, take a few breaths, and before I knew it, it was done.
Implantology, it's been around for 50 years, but it's been evolving over the last 10, 20 years and coming into really sort of the UK were way behind. It started in sort of the US and sort of more the Scandinavian countries. England, the UK were miles behind really the times as to what it could do, and the opportunity to use something that's going to regenerate, fix, re-establish missing teeth, stabilise jaws, as opposed to just fixing a broken down scenario that was what we were seeing in the dental world, has just been such an eye-opener, just such almost a revelation. It kind of makes you want to go to work knowing that whatever's put in front of you, no matter how bad or how broken down, there are now solutions. Some of those solutions are more difficult to achieve than others, but there are solutions. And with this, as I said, bioengineering, if you want to call it that, and the materials and the evolution of the products and the way the products can be used to create as good as you're ever going to get a third chance for your teeth. Baby teeth, you lose. Second teeth, historically, once they'd gone, they'd gone.
Immediately after, it was fine actually. Didn't take as long as I thought. Still a bit numbed up, but apart from that, so I had an ice pack, and the guys just let me recover in. I had a sweet to myself, and what I was happy about, I ate as much ice cream as I wanted, so I was a happy girl. It was fine, no problem whatsoever. Bit of a recovery. And then got called up to have the last bit done and to have it fitted in. And after that, it was just, oh my lordy, it was absolutely fantastic. Drove back to the hotel for the evening after the procedure, and actually sat down and ate barbecue spare ribs. So that was literally 8 hours after having a new set of teeth. So it can be done, and it was absolutely fantastic. The barbecue spare ribs weren't bad either.
My journey in implant dentistry started about 15 years ago. I was in general practice and I was happily doing what I was trained to do at university, but from time to time I would come up against problems that I couldn't solve with the conventional dental tools that I had available to me. I then discovered this wonderful treatment modality called dental implants. And the more I investigated it, the more I looked into it, the more I realized that it had so many more possibilities than the tools I currently had available. More training, working with other clinicians who were also in this field, developing a team and a team mentality helped us learn to solve some of the most complex problems that exist in dentistry by using dental implants. What does this do for us? It allows us to expand the treatment horizons for patients who would otherwise be left with dentures.
Next day, bit of swelling, no bruising that I thought was going to happen, but no sweat, no bruising whatsoever. The guys had given me some face packs, some ice packs to take back home with me. So I put those on a bit, but after that it was just a case of the swelling going down. And then by Wednesday, swelling had gone down and I was back out meeting and greeting my customers. And the difference, the confidence that I had walking in to see them was absolutely amazing. I actually went to see a couple of new customers. So there was no difference for them, but I actually went to see a couple of older customers and they even noticed a difference on how brighter I spoke to them and how more confident I was.
For any human being, this can be an awful time for them. And the anxieties of, am I going to end up wearing a denture? Am I going to end up putting false teeth in a glass? Can I really live like this? It's awful. I'm lucky I have my own teeth, but I know if I was facing the prospect of losing my teeth, I'd be as anxious as every patient I see. The wonderful thing about modern oral bioengineering with dental implants is there are very, very few cases today that we cannot solve. So we've heard it all here. We've heard patients say to us, well, I've been told I don't have enough bone. Believe you me, with the technology that's available today, until they're truly evaluated, we can work with absolutely minimal bone to reconstruct patients. We try and avoid grafting, bone grafting at any instance, because that's an additional trauma we try and avoid. Obviously, sometimes it's not possible to avoid it, but I'm very happy to say that these instances are incredibly rare. The ability also to be able to reconstruct somebody back to a perfect smile and excellent chewing function within between 1 and 3 days, to me is one of the top 5 miracles of modern medicine. To be able to do that, to be able to re-establish a smile that somebody has missed for the last 40 years is a wonderful thing to be able to do. And that's where a lot of my pleasure in doing this job comes from, because it's a wonderful feeling every day to be able to create a smile for someone again. That's why I'm lucky, because I have 14 other people here that work with me as part of the team who get the same pleasure that I do, and we're just very happy to do it.
All I can say is it has been the best decision that I have ever made. I've suffered for years with poor dental work, poor dentistry, bad teeth, abscesses, everything. To now be finally at the end of the journey where I don't have to worry about what I'm eating, I can laugh and joke with the rest of them without thinking that my dentures are going to fall out, and just being in a much better place. If you're having the problems that I did, or even half the problems that I had, I'd recommend it. It gives you your life back. It may be a couple of £1,000 to do it, but in the end, you're investing in yourself and your future, and go for it.
One of the reasons that this clinic is called Evodental is the first part of the word comes from the word evolution. What I learned very early on within this science is the rate at which it's evolving. The rate at which it's evolving is actually phenomenal. The amount of investment being put in by the companies who are developing new technologies to work in and around implants is really quite staggering. And the rate of change is amazing, which is only good for us and really good for the patients. From our own standpoint, we have a dedicated R&D department on site where we're constantly looking at the next generation of biomaterials, the next generation of engineering, the next generation of being able to give us the best possible outcomes. And I'm happy to say that that progress is happening apace I believe we're living through the golden age of implant reconstruction right now, and it's only going to get better. Our ethos at Evodental is always to be at the forefront of that.
It's given me my confidence back. I can smile. I actually had a party with my girlies on Friday, and they couldn't stop me smiling. It has been life-changing, and honestly, if you want to do it, do it. Don't hang back. The guys here are so professional, courteous, and just lovely. They really are absolutely fantastic. They treated me so well, didn't patronise me, the fact that I had bad teeth or anything like that. It was just, they've just been absolutely wonderful. Leanne, one of the ladies, the nurses, actually came in on her day off to see how I was. So they've just been absolutely fantastic, and I can't compliment them enough. I say I'm back to work now. Everything going swimmingly. Brought in 20 jobs yesterday from an old customer, and on to bigger and better things. I can go out and smile and look forward to having photos taken and smiling on them, which I haven't done for many, many years. And I just can't wait. It's going to be a new chapter.